Right, Hallie's going to knit box pleats. She has her tech sheet here where she's got her needle selection using one feeder. Arrow keys don't work, are not needed. And she's going to start with a French welt with all needles. Okay, so show us what it means to have all needles.
So with all needles, it's racked so you can knit using every needle, but none of them crash when they're knitting. So there's just a small space in between them all. Yeah.
And you rack them over here, right?
So it's at the 6 o'clock position. Although I guess that will change from machine to machine.
Yeah. So just make sure by checking the needles.
And the orange strippers are in because and then make sure both beds are in BS.
And all the pushers are up on both sides?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and so when you're doing all needles, you'll feel it's going to be a lot tighter when you bring it across. Okay.
And then, just like before, you put, to go back, you change to CX on both beds. So, and then you can add in the comb. And you can, it's a BX. And you can take the strippers out once you have your combing. Okay. So for the box pleat, you have to transfer your stitches again according to what you write on your tech sheet. So in this case, the way I like to do it is I change my racking just to transfer the needles so that they're across from each other. And then you count, so I start in the back bed and I count 3 needles, and then I'll transfer the next 2 stitches up to the front. So those 2 needles won't have anything on them, and then I'll deactivate them. So when the carriage goes by in BX, they won't knit there.
Okay.
So once all your needles are transferred in the pattern that you want them to, you have to make sure you change your racking back again so that when you knit across, the needles won't crash. And you also have to make sure that the needles that you transfer the hooks off of are deactivated on both sides. Otherwise it makes a big mess. So once that's all done, and again, it's just both beds are in BX. I'm gonna make it a little looser. And then you can just knit across. And yeah, and then you keep going, and then you can bind off at the end. Okay, so here's the finished swatch. You can see that where if you stretch it out, where the front knit and the back knit will cause it to fold, and especially on the side, you can see the box pleats and how they fold into each other like this, and it's pretty stretchy. But yeah, that's a simple way to get shape in this swatch.